guys, this is Swords Master here, and today I am with D3-LL and the GreatRieck.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
And today we are doing a Sacred Stones tier list because, well, we're in the mood
We don't know.
I'm in the mood for Sacred Stones.
It's one of the best games in the series.
Definitely the best of the GBA games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes. So yeah, we're doing a tier list, and this will be interesting because, we all have our own different opinions on these characters, but,
Yeah.
Things I want to try and focus on for this tier list, so, it'll be more a generalized tier list, so both aimed at, like, casual and, not casual, I guess, so to speak. So, like, will these units serve you well in just, like, a more generalized playthrough, I guess? And, like, I guess we'll also talk about, even if the unit is terrible, is there merit to using them? And then we'll also talk about, like, the branching promotions that Sacred Stones has, because, like, some promotions are more balanced than others, and, but, yeah. And so that's why, with, like, the more generalized tier list, I decided to have, more different looking tiers. So, like, we have S is for Seth, must use, worthwhile, serviceable, and then pain.
There's a reason why pain is pink.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's fitting.
It's fitting, yeah.
Considering one, maybe two units are going, that I know for a fact are going to be in there, it's fitting that's pink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, we all have our own different opinions on this, but you know what? Let's just get started on this, guys.
Okay.
And I guess on a quick side note, in the corner, like, you'll see footage of me Iron Manning Sacred Stones because I've never done an Iron Man run before, and Sacred Stones, yeah, why not? Anyways, let us get right to this then. So, do we just want to get the cat, or just, like, get this right off the table and put Seth right here? Because that's pretty obvious.
The unit
Yeah,
that's so strong it's to the detriment of the game.
Yes, exactly. Like Seth, they had no idea what, like, with half a crew, it's not surprising that Seth is so broken. Like, by
Seth
half a
is
crew, I mean half.
When you're so strong, you end up failing. You're still failing because you suck as a Jagan, but like, it just so happens that sucking as a Jagan is beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, like, he cannot, well, yes, he can solo the game, but I've been in places where it's like, do you really want him to solo? Because he could just die if you're unlucky.
Yes. That's the thing about Seth. People say, oh, Seth can solo the game easy, and he can, but RNG is still a factor. And and enemies have a fair amount of effective weapons and stuff like that can kill Seth.
Right, but like I still feel like even something like the chapter 6, like horse or halberd, whatever the hell it is, guy. I think I remember running the numbers, and it does do a good chunk of his HP, but I think it's only like over half.
Yeah. It's like 26 HP or something like that.
Yeah, 26,
Yeah.
So we'd leave him at 4, and here's the thing, Seth...
Well, okay, that's assuming he hasn't gained any levels by then.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think, like, another thing that I like to take account is, like, the Draco zombies in the final chapter, where, like...
Okay, those fuck up every once, that's not fair.
Yeah, that's fair, that's
true.
not fair, but still, Seth... And here's the thing, Seth doesn't have, like, defense where he doesn't take damage at all of hit. He just
That's
has
true.
very high speed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, if that halberd hits and then a ballista hits him in chapter 6, he might as well be dead.
There's no ballista in chapter 6, Rick.
Or chapter
yeah,
7. I think I'm mixing up my chapters now, damn it.
Yeah.
But I think
But still...
I think just overall, he's a very good unit, very solid, and yeah, there's like nothing else to say, I guess. He can probably solo. Oh, he can solo the game. It's just all up to RNG, and yeah. And how
At the same time, but at the same time, that goes for literally everyone. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here, let's just do this. Pain. Boom.
yes.
Yeah, I love Amelia as a character, but she's just, unlike the other two trainee units, she comes either too late to be trainable, and the enemies have too good a defense for her to do any damage.
Here's how I see it. Where's Ross on the list? Oh, there he is. Anyways, but here's how I see it. Ross, the first trainee, joins very early in the game, so like you can pretty easily train him up to a promotion to like pirate or fighter, and like have him be perfectly serviceable.
Yeah.
Ewan may join after Amelia, but he has some genuine like a genuine niche to be training, like being able to access like either Mage Knight, which is a mountain magic using class that has permanent 1 to 2 range and targets typically the lower of the two enemies' offensive stats, which is really good, and also the Summoner class, which has like its own various forms of utility. Amelia doesn't really have a reason to be trained at all, because Great Knight, like General is completely outclassed by Great Knight, and Great Knight itself is like nothing special. And like sure, Paladins are really good, but do you really think you'll need 5 of them?
And here's the thing about Amelia too, with her like growth rates and stats, she'll never be good in any of those classes. She'll just be the worst of each of those classes.
Unless you get super lucky.
But
Well,
that's
yeah,
all,
but
but we can't count luck for this type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like adding that there, but I think like Amelia, if you do want to train her, Paladin is definitely the best bet. Especially if you're the type of person who likes training 0 to hero. And I have trained Amelia, and
training Amelia is not impossible by any stretch. Just
no, I think of the 3 trainee units, she's actually the hardest to train, and that's because she just has really bad strength at base for one. So it's like,
and also she doesn't have well, okay, Joblin's a really good GBA FE, but when your stats are as low as hers, you'd much prefer having something like magic for Ewan.
Yeah, but yeah, if you want to trade Amelia, make her a Paladin.
Yeah.
Second best bet is Great Knight, just for weapon triangle and at least like the terrible 6 movement that it has, but at the very least, like, it has the weapon triangle coverage.
If you want to train Amelia, just it's far from impossible. Just know you're not making things easy on yourself by any stretch.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So yeah, Amelia, even when she's a paladin, she's worse Seth.
I mean, so is everyone else. Let's not kid ourselves.
True.
Very true.
Alright. Do we want... let's do the Lords next. Starting with Eirika.
Worthwhile. I'd put her in worthwhile, personally, because she's not great, but she's
I would say either worthwhile or serviceable myself, because she's not amazing, but she's like the thing is, like, Eirika is no Lynn. She's not ungodly terrible. She can work, it's just, like, compared to some of the other units, it's like, it takes a little bit more work than is, like, maybe preferred. And even then, and even then, not being able to use, like, one good 1-2 range is kind of an issue, for this game especially.
Yeah, but I think, like, the problem with her is that she's so paper thin that, like... it's so hard sometimes because, yeah. That's just my experience with her, though.
The reason she's worthwhile is because you are required to use her for, like, the first third of the game. And, like, she does have pretty good growth. And I know that the whole growth over basis thing, but let's throw that out the window for a second. Like, she usually grows pretty well, and when she promotes, she's usually pretty good.
Oh yeah. No,
but at the same time, she doesn't grow until like the last fourth of the game.
Yes, but even then, like when you get, but here's the thing about her too. She's also she's super speedy.
That is true.
Like here's the thing, she's also a good dodge tank. She's not the strongest unit, but she's a good dodge tank and can deal.
Do you want to rely on dodging?
In Sacred Stones, it's actually.
Yeah, here's the thing, like, her avoid is very, very good, but it never really is reliable to the point where you can actually, like, rely on it. Which I know is redundant, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might just be my bias because of my last Sacred Stones run where she kept getting ungodly level ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then she also died to a ballista.
I was gonna say, she still died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I put her in serviceable. Like, she gets better. Like, she's not terrible. She's not terrible. But the thing is that she can cost a game over, which you might not want.
She's at very least not in the game that's like one of those anti-sword games in the series, like FE7.
Yeah.
FE7 is very anti-sword. At least this game is not.
Yeah.
Well, then again, FE7's anti-quality.
Yeah, let's not go on this. Let's not go on this tangent. I mean,
Okay. But
I know. I just wanted to throw that dig in there.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I would say that Sacred Stones is like it can be sword friendly. It just depends on the unit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eirika, serviceable. All right.
Next is Ephraim, because he said we were doing both lords.
Yes.
And I would put him in must use myself.
Same here.
Must use? Yeah, same.
Because he's got good strength, he's got great defense, he's got an amazing weapon.
Something that people seem to forget about, like, Ephraim, Kyle, and Ford is that they joined in Chapter 5X, which, okay, Orson is there too, and he has an 8-move unit, so, like, he's not, like, you can... like, certainly use them in that map if you want to, but, like, that map is basically just, like filled to the brim with units that are pretty easy to kill. It's basically just, like, one giant EXP vacuum for those 3 units.
Yeah,
yes.
And so, like, you can... Yeah, if you just want to take... Like, I think in a casual playthrough, which is usually how, like, most people probably play, you could just, like, have Orson sit on the back lines, and then Ephraim, Ford, and Kyle. I was about to combine the 2 Christmas Cavs names. You could just have the 3 of them just, like, just go through the map and destroy everything. Well,
yeah.
And, yeah, it's... Especially if you're doing, like, Eirika's route, if you choose to go that route, it's a very good training ground for Ephraim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose him for, like, most of the game.
Yeah.
If you go Eirika's route. And so, like, yeah, just give him as much experience in that map, and he's
another thing about
good.
Ephraim is that he has probably the best weapon type in the game. That being lances. Lances are very good. Which not only means he can use, like, his signature Regan Leaf, you know, but, like, he also can use javelins, which is very useful.
And he can use them at base, which is even better. Unlike Amelia.
No, she can use javelins. No. Amelia can use javelins at base. She's just so bad at using them.
Yeah.
Are javelins E rank or D rank?
Yes, they're E rank.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well. Ha ha ha.
But the thing is, she's got such low skill.
Yeah. And also she has such low speed that she can't double with them, and like in fact she's very likely to be doubled with as she uses one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Amelia, a lot of the runs, if you're playing an Iron Man run, she's just rat bait.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Ephraim must use. When he promotes, he just gets better, and because mounted lance unit, like, yeah, he doesn't have swords, but you know what? Who cares?
It doesn't really matter.
he's just very good.
He is.
But you still have to be careful with them, obviously, because like with Eirika, especially if you're doing an Iron Man run, he can. Well, even if it's not an Iron Man run, he can still cost a game over. So
yeah.
So you still have to be careful with them.
Yeah. So who's next?
Who would we unanimously agree is in worthwhile? Ross, maybe?
Ross.
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah, Ross.
Because here's the thing, Ross is Ross is a Cliff archetype unit, where it's like, he starts off early game weaker than the rest of your early game people, but he skyrockets pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He can. But
he
also
can skyrocket.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about Ross. Even though he is a trainee unit, he actually like even sees decent 0% growth runs because like he can promote to a pirate at level 10, which is has a water walk ability, which gives him a useful form of utility that like very few other people will have at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Then also by going pirate, he can promote to a berserker, which is really strong class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like he's an amazing berserker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nah, you're good. But yeah, Ross, of like all of the 3 trainee units, he's like probably the easiest to train from 0 to hero. Just because like he joins so early, and his stats are like a little subpar compared to other units, but at the same time they're not. They're
workable.
Yeah, they're very workable.
And I'm just gonna say this: I personally think Ewan and Ross are on par with each other, despite Ewan joining much later. But that's only because like I'll explain it when we get to Ewan.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ross, very good. 1-2 range with axes is also pretty nice to have. So yeah, like with the pipe.
Surprisingly good axe.
Yeah. And actually, like, with the fighter, there is some merit to promoting him to fighter, so then you can put him in the hero class.
I think the pirate's waterwalk is more beneficial.
No, it is, but I'm just saying, like, for you
can definitely turn him into a fighter, but that just turns him into Garcia 2.0.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that there is some merit to promoting him, like, there can be some merit to promoting him to hero if you so desire.
I suppose. Hey, speaking of Garcia, let's do Garcia next.
Yeah.
I'd say he's in
I'd say it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he starts off he's actually really good in the early game, because you fight a fair amount of both axe and lance units.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he could just tear the lance units to shreds. And, like, the axe units also get weighed down a lot.
Here's the funny thing about Garcia. Were it not for his, like, incredibly high constitution, making it difficult to lug him around while rescuing him and the like, I think he actually would be, like really good. Because here's the thing, like, you can promote him to hero, which will give him, like, +2 speed, and, like, Garcia needs every point of speed that he can get. But then, like, whenever he promotes, you can keep training his axe rank to get to S rank axes and get the Garm, which is like a super strong S rank axe, which can very easily one shot pretty much any, especially with his like high strength. He can pretty easily one shot most monster enemies, which is just so happens to be the majority of like the enemies in like the last fourth of the game.
Yeah.
So like at that point you don't really even need speed when you just literally one shot like most of like non-Draco zombie enemies.
Yeah.
True.
But
that
speed might also come in handy for like doubling non-monster enemies, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think Garcia gets like Garcia's seen as a very subpar unit, but I think he's underrated.
He kind of is.
I remember the last time I used him, he was a warrior. He was slowed down. I should have promoted him to hero on second thought, but he could still, like, you know, do massive damage regardless. So even if you don't promote him to hero and you promote him to warrior, he can still do massive chunks of damage.
Yeah. Plus his HP is really high, so he'll never really have bulk issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Garcia, good.
And that's kind of the best thing about a fighter. Fighters are meant to be bulky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
does it well.
I want to say that, like, Garcia might be, like, the best fighter in the GBA FE games, but I could be wrong on that.
Oh, yeah. No, I would
down.
agree. I would agree.
But that's because everyone else is such crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, like, Garcia, it's like, he's, at least, like, in his game. Yeah. Just...
Yeah.
And he actually has speed.
Kind of. He has a 25% growth. Actually, no, I think it's a 20% growth only.
20 or 25, something like that. Even then, like Del said, you can still, like, one-shot nuke 'em things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Garcia, good. Alright.
Who's next?
Franz.
Okay,
This might be a hot topic.
I'm an S.
I don't think he belongs in S.
I don't think so either.
He belongs in must use.
Yes.
I would put him above Ephraim, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's above Ephraim, but here's the thing: he's a must-use unit because he's good, but he's not anywhere near as good as Seth, which I know no one is nearly as good as Seth, but actually there's a lot of people that are nearly as good as Seth, but Franz is not one of those. He's really good, but you see, he still kind of pales.
Another thing I want to add about Franz is that, in general, he's like the kind of unit who it's like, yeah, he has like decent base stats, but he can also easily get screwed over. And then he won't be performing as well as like other units. So that's like kind of a problem he has.
Main reason I think is really, really good is just because of the fact that he is like he's a cavalier that can very easily promote by the time Kyle and Ford can rejoin. So because you get the first hero crest from the chapter 7 boss, I think, and he can very easily or whatever the hell he can very easily use that by the time you actually kill that boss. So because he's been around for the entirety of almost the beginning of the game. So he's just a very, very solid cavalier 8-move unit, which for GBA in particular makes him very, very, very good.
Yeah, but just I think it might be more of personal bias with Reik and I, but we're more of we know he's good, but I don't know about you, Reik, but I've had times where he basically wasn't super good, and
the thing is,
that hasn't been on more than one occasion. That's been on numerous occasions where I've used Franz and he was good in the early game, but then by the time I got to late game, he kind of fell off, or before late game.
Okay, well, Franz is very, very well-rounded growth-wise, so that can happen, but still.
And that's what I'm gonna bring up.
That's just solid.
Here's the thing about Franz is that he's a great class. He starts with good bases, but the thing is that he's well-rounded, but his well-roundedness is kind of a coin flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, he can turn out pretty good, but he also can really turn out to be a total piece of trash.
Yeah, that's kind of the danger of relying solely on average stats for units. The danger is a well-rounded units like Franz, where it's yes, if you look strictly at the average stats, then his stats will look pretty good, but keep in mind that a lot of those stats are basically coin flips.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
exactly.
that's why it's if maybe
average stats are pretty decent gauge to kind of see how they would usually turn out, but it's anything when RNG is at stake, anything can happen.
I want to say that with Franz, because of how well-rounded he is, if either his growths or his bases were just slightly higher, then he'd probably be up here. If either probably it'd probably matter if the bases were slightly higher.
Honestly, he's top. I'd say he's top of the must use.
Definitely. Definitely. He is. Yeah, we're not saying he's bad.
No.
But
no, exactly. He's
a unit that can just can end up being very average, and sometimes that averageness can end up being subpar instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, but for the most part, he is very good. I'd say even just in the early game, he's super useful.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Having high movement is almost never going to be not useful.
Yeah, and then rescue dropping is also good. Speaking of rescue dropping, Vanessa.
Oh boy. S tier.
Reik! She's going in S tier. You can't stop us.
I can't agree there.
Okay, Can you give us your argument?
The thing with Vanessa is, yes, she's a good carry unit, but she's just so fragile that, she's so fragile, and she kind of, unlike a lot of Pegasus Knights a lot of the time, compared to Tana a lot of times she just doesn't turn out as good, like, as her other constituents. Like, Cyrene turns out, she and Cyrene are on par, but then it's like you've got Tana, who, if Vanessa belongs in S tier solely for her carry utility, then Tana belongs in S tier because of her everything else.
Okay, but Tana joins just as good as Vanessa does, like several chapters later.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yes, but here's the thing.
If you compare Vanessa and Tana at base, and like they're pretty similar, but Tana joins so much later.
Yeah, and so Tana, you have to put like you kind of need to put like a little bit of investment in her for her in order for her to be more useful. But with Vanessa, you get her very early on, and so because of that early on, then she's a lot better.
You do definitely need to you do need to be a little careful of Vanessa, but investing into her is like very, very, very easily doable. To the point where you can very easily have her promoted by like chapter 8, I think, is the chest with the first Elysian whip.
Yeah, but I think like one problem that she does face is that like in her starting chapters though, you're faced with a bunch of axe users, so that can be a bit problematic.
Axe users and archers are plenty.
I kind of see Vanessa sort of like a mini Shauna in FE6, where it's like Shauna's a unit where it's like just be like what she brings to the table makes her a unit that you really want to train, but like you definitely need to be a little bit careful about training her. I see Vanessa as sort of that, but like not quite as like obviously like worth the investment, but also kind of difficult to train.
Yeah. And you see, I want to say Vanessa is actually easier to train than Shauna, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but that's just mostly just because like FE8 is just a much easier game. But like
and
also
FE8 is much better designed than FE6.
Okay, I'll fight you on it. I will fight you, but we'll fight you on that. But anyways, let's keep our opinions of each individual game out of here for now.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I want to say that like with another thing with Vanessa is that even though her strength isn't the greatest, it can be mitigated if you promote her to Wyvern Knight, I believe, and which is usually what a lot of people opt to give her. But I want to say that Falcon Knight, despite not giving like the strength perks as a Wyvern Knight, can still be useful because
other things that like by the time she promotes, you've been like having her attack, like you've been like killing stuff with her for so long that like she's her lance rank could very easily raise to the point where she could probably even use Seth's silver lance by the time she promotes, which will very, very much help out with her offense.
Yeah.
But
I think like Falcon Knight or Wyvern Knight are both good choices. I just want to put that out there. Yeah, like I know.
I mean, if we're really gonna debate this, I still think she belongs at best in must-use over S tier, over S for Seth. Because, like, as you say, all of this is correct. But here's the thing: like, sure, you get more time with her compared to Tana. But here's the thing: a lot of her early game time, which is the best time to train her, is filled with units that if they hit her if they just sneeze on her, she dies.
Not necessarily. She can take one hit if it's not an archer.
You can take exactly one hit if it's not an archer, yeah. And also even if she does like have really like bad bulk issues, she's your only flyer for so long that like training her is still very, very beneficial, even if it is a little bit difficult. Just because flying is so useful.
I guess. I've just never seen Vanessa that useful in any of my runs.
I think, like, if we put, just, like, in a vacuum, Vanessa, Tana, and Cormag, not Cyrene, Cyrene's a bit different, but if we put those three, like, in a vacuum, and you're using all three, and it, like, doesn't matter, I want to say Cormag will obviously perform the best, Tana will be the second best stat-wise, and then Vanessa will be the third best, but even then, she's still good.
Yeah, even if Vanessa's stats aren't as good as Tana, she's been around for much longer, and like the main draw is that like she can still perform decently well in combat.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to bother training Tana, then Vanessa's all you got for at least like a flyer utility until you get Cormag. So.
Alright. So, I'll just agree to disagree here, because I know you guys aren't changing your mind on her being S.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you put three very, very stubborn people on a call together.
Yeah.
Very, very agreed. So yeah, you know what? Let's just talk about Tana and Cormac. I'll just put them here. I'm just putting them here.
I don't think either of them deserve to be in S tier. Honestly,
I disagree. Like, if Vanessa deserves to be an S, then Tana deserves to be an S, and so does Cormac. Cormac over both of them.
Cormac and then Tana.
No. Here's the thing. I would put Tana I would put them both in must-use, but I would put Tana below Ephraim, and I would put Cormac above Ephraim. Because
I put Cormac above Franz.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The issue is like availability, because not only does Tana, good lord, wrong game. Not only does Tana join later than Vanessa does, she also joins level 3, and by that time,
level
Vanessa
4.
can vary, level 4. Okay. Anyways, but by the time she joins, she joins at a pretty low level, and by that time, Vanessa can already be promoted. And Cormac does join even later than Tana does, but Cormac performs excellently in combat right off the bat, and he still only needs to gain. He only needs to gain 1 level to promote, if that.
No, actually, he can auto promote on Eirika's route.
But on Ephraim's route, he joins level 9.
Okay.
Yes.
But even then, 1 level or auto promote, he's still good. I'd probably put him above Franz just because.
Thank you.
I wish there was a way to put Franz and Cormac equal, because I think Cormac has more beneficial stuff, but he also joins much later.
I think you know what, the top 2 spots could kind of count as equal, to be fair.
I guess.
Because it's like there's no equal spot, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, if we were to put Vanessa, Cormac, Tana in a vacuum, just for battling and nothing else,
here's the thing.
Cormac would be the best, Tana's second best, Vanessa third, but because Vanessa joined so early, she has more time to be used, and so by the time you get Tana, you might not want to use her because, well...
Also, here's the thing. Tana does have a very, very small strength lead over Vanessa, but it's a 1 or 2 point difference at most. Which how often is that really gonna come handy?
It comes in handy a lot if you're me, to be fair. Because here's the thing.
Okay, well that's the thing. We're also not you, Rick. Some of us are actually good at video games.
Yeah, but anyway, it still does not look right for Vanessa to be up there, but. Because here's the thing, she's only a rescue utility. She's not, you guys say you can train her up pretty well, but even then, she's kind of really hard to train up, even in the get-go. In the beginning. But I get that rescue utility is super important, so I'm just gonna concede on this.
Okay. So,
you guys are gonna hate me for this?
I love you for that, actually.
Because Cormac is so good!
I'll concede for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cormac for me is Percival in FE6, where it's he really is a god, but he joins so late into the game that I can't really bring myself to put him an S tier.
You know, if we're gonna stay on the S tiers, I know the next unit we should do.
Oh, good lord.
GreatRieck.
GreatRieck?
Oh, I cannot put him in S tier.
I cannot either. The highest I can put him is here.
Yeah, GreatRieck is still there, definitely very, very, very good. I just don't know.
Here's the thing about him. He's got
S tiers. What?
He's got amazing stats right off the bat. He can insta promote on either route.
Yeah. Right
off the bat, and when he insta promotes, he still only takes for most of the game 1 or 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
From any non-mage. He can be in the ranger class, which gives good movement.
Okay, but here's the thing: he still joins halfway through the game. When that's another I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record here. I'm sorry, but availability is a legitimate factor for something like this.
It can be, but for GreatRieck, it doesn't matter. GreatRieck still comes GreatRieck is like Ogma. If Ogma in FE3 joined at any time, he would still be a top tier unit. GreatRieck is like that. He joins at any time. His base stats are amazing. Even when you auto promote him, like insta promote him because he comes with a hero crest.
I wouldn't say anytime, Riek. I'd say like
you can't have Overwatch 1 in the final chapter and expect him to still be top tier. Good lord.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Like I would have to call bias at that point.
No.
It'd be like saying, well, okay, yeah, I guess like Galzus could be considered top tier, but at the same time, it's like
something
you've
else
already trained other units. I'm just like saying as an example because like if you're saying if Ogma joined at any time, it'd be the same as saying if Galzus joined at any time. Therefore, Garrick joining at any time. So I want to say that with Garrick, because of where he joins in the game, you can auto promote him. And then he'll just be a juggernaut for the rest of the game. Well, it also depends on the class you put him in, because if you put him in Ranger, then he has a mount, he can snipe stuff down if you want him to.
But
if you want him...
that is something kind of interesting with Garrick. I think he has like probably the most like balanced promotion in the game because no matter which way you kind of take him, he's like the two most important things for like FE8 is good 1-2 range and a mount. If you promote a Ranger, he gets a mount, but no good 1-2 range.
I disagree.
If you promote a hero, shut up for a minute, let me fucking. If you promote a hero, he gets a good 1-2 range, but no mount. So like either way, you're getting one very beneficial thing, but also losing out on the other one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this: mounts are not as beneficial in FE8 as they are in other FE games.
But they are still very good.
They're not. They are good, but they're not the most beneficial thing. They're nowhere near that in Sacred Stones. Because yes, okay, but because a lot of the maps don't require you to have that much range. A lot of maps, like the best examples are stuff like, say, the Ghost Ship.
Okay, here's the thing about the
Ghost Ship, Chapter 3.
Here's the thing about the mount, like for FE in particular, it's less so that like the really high movement that it gives, but more so the fact that most, like pretty much every single mount in the game can rescue and like rescue drop and like use the GBA games mini Kanto to like do stuff. Yeah,
I'm just gonna say
that's more so what like the whole draw of like the mounts for this game in particular is.
Okay, I can see that. Okay,
yeah.
But I still think Garrick belongs in S because he's got amazing stats no matter what class he's in. He's got amazing benefit no matter what class he's in. One of the top tier characters, if we're bringing back character into the discussion.
Yeah.
Maybe some other time.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna contest that he belongs in with the champions up at the top.
So that's just leaving him at the top of must use just to kind of even out things out here.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
I will concede that.
So Garrick, top of must use, Cormag will be at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think like what puts Cormag just slightly above Garrick is just a flyer utility alone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take a break from like very heavily contested top 2 units. Let's talk about a unit that I'm pretty sure we can all agree is absolute dog shit. So let's talk about Marissa.
Yes. Oh God.
Better than Amelia, I will say that.
Just barely.
Barely.
Mm.
Like it's like comparing a dog turd to a slightly larger dog turd.
Here's the thing: comparing Marissa to Amelia is like smashing 2 bricks against your head and trying to figure out which one hurts worse.
Yes. Exactly.
But
like she joins like so late into the game and her base stats are so awful. She still needs to gain a lot of levels to promote, and like even then she's not even nearly as good as someone like Joshua.
What's her starting level? 5?
I like 5. Yeah.
Okay. So like if you wanted to though, you could just train her those 5 levels and promote her to Swords Master.
Here's the thing: her growths aren't even that good either.
She's very dog standard like Myrmidon like stats.
Oh
so,
yeah,
like,
definitely.
It's not like by the time she joins, it's not at all useful.
I'm just saying that like if you do want to use her, Sword Master is the best route. If you're promoting her to Assassin.
Actually, I think I'd actually say Assassin's better just because you can give her a lockback at that point and have her go like.
And Assassin also gets Silencer, which she
is
has
not
a
useful.
good skill.
That's RNG based though.
It's RNG based.
That's so ungodly heavily RNG because not only do you need a proc crit, but also it's a 50-50 shot on top of that.
Okay.
Let me speak for a second. She also has really good skill growth. That's her best growth is skill. So from what I remember. And so, assassin lethality relies on skill. And so, like, let me double check that.
Lethality is crit divided by 2. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And she still has amazing crit with Shamshir, so...
Right, but, like, that's still could be much better.
It's like a 30% chance most of the time, which is pretty good. It's nowhere near to make her not dog shit, but...
Yeah. And, because, like, even with 30 as crit rate, that's still only a 15% chance of proccing, whatever the hell's called, Silencer.
Oh, no, I'm saying that she has, like, usually a 30% chance, because you're usually, if you're going to use her, you're going to give her a killing edge, or keep her Shamshir on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, killing edge is only 30 crit. Fast.
30 crit, but then with her skill, it's like 60 crit.
No,
I think that's only if it's like if she's a sword master.
No, yeah.
I'm saying with her own skill.
Crit rate in this game, and crit rate in FE8 is skill divided by 2. So there's no way in hell she's gonna gain 30 crit just off of like skill alone.
Okay, fair enough. I'm thinking of exclusively the Shamshir. Then never mind.
Yeah.
So if you, so with Marissa, if you want like just her to be a critting machine sword master, but she might be better off as a utility, being an assassin, just to use lockpicks. But even then, that's like
I think she also
other characters that can do that job better.
There are 2 other characters that can do that job better.
I think she also has higher movement as an assassin. I forget though.
Yeah, by like 1 point.
Yeah,
but that's still 1 point.
Yeah.
True.
Well, movement's like the one side where that actually does kind of sort of make a difference.
Yeah.
Alright, speaking of other thieves.
They're both serviceable because like Colm is very squishy, but he's got good speed, so and I know dodge tanking isn't the best strategy, but even then he can pretty much dodge a lot, and he can grab chests pretty easily.
Yeah, and he can also get doors.
And also he can promote a rogue and just completely like remove the need for it to carry a lockpick at all. Because here's the thing, whenever you're going around like picking chests, the lockpick is going to take up an item slot. And sure, you can't just easily send something into the convoy, but like still, it's like an extra like text box you don't need to go through if you just have like an extra slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like a lot of people say that, promote Colm the assassin, and it's like, no, don't, because then he can't steal stuff anymore, and if you want someone to start stealing stuff again, you're gonna have to wait for Renais.
Yeah, plus also, like, the assassins promotions are no better than rogues.
And assassin's just a terrible class.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mince words here. Assassin and Sacred Stones.
It can be fun, but it's god-awful.
Yeah.
So rogue for both of them. Although, if you're using Rasta, then you're not going to be you're definitely not going to be promoting Colm if you promote Rasta Pirate. And so
because they both take an Ocean Seal, which is, I think there's only like one of in the entire game.
There's 2.
No, there's 1.
Yeah, there's only one.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of Secret Shops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, Secret Shop is a thing, but that costs like a truckload of gold.
Yeah, it's like 10,000 gold or something like that. Basically, though, once Renais comes, you can obviously promote him for free with La Rochelle. That's pretty easy. But he basically when you recruit him. Yeah, when you recruit him. But once you get him, he basically just takes over Colm's job for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Renais sucks at combat, but he's very like. He's good at like doing what a thief does. Also, he joins with the members card, which allows him to access the secret shop, and that's like I would say that's like the primary reason to recruit him is to get the member card.
And funny enough, the secret shop in the chapter, from what I'm looking at, is the chapter you recruit him in. Either one, for chapter 14A or B, is where you can get another Ocean Seal.
But do you want to buy an Ocean Seal when you could buy another Elysian Whip if you want to use all 3 of these flyers?
Why not both if you're me?
Okay.
I don't think Colm is worth promoting unless you make Ross a fighter and then a hero.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, both are serviceable. They are both amazing as thieves. And they do their... Honestly, I feel like Renais should be in Worthwhile just because of how good of a job he does as a thief. Like, bottom of Worthwhile.
I don't know.
But
No.
because he's so squishy, yeah honestly.
Yeah, no,
So
they're
yeah,
both the same. Renais is just slightly better because he's promoted and he has better stats. And, like, so it's like, if you want to send the two of them into combat, you're better off sending Renais into combat than Cole.
And even then, Renais still sucks at combat, so.
Yeah, but just, like, in general, it's like, yeah. If you want one of them to go into combat, Renais is probably gonna get out more alive than Cole. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, but I think I know who's the last one in pain.
Oh. Yeah?
Namie.
Yeah.
I will argue.
I would put her above Marissa. Like, she would be the very, very top. Because she can, she doesn't do much damage, but she can, help, her chipping can help out with, the first few chapters. And also, she can do some really cool stuff in, chapter 7 if you put her into the, ballista. Like, she can actually help kill, if you do, the strat of, sending Pirate Ross over across the river and, ferrying people across instead of taking a long way around, Namie can do some really cool stuff with the ballista. She can take out some, certain enemies to help clear the way.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my argument for Namie is that bad chip damage, but she can get a horse. That's pretty much my only baseless argument. But no, she's terrible.
Her horse, the horse is good, yes, but when you have such terrible stats, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Stay on the bench. Stay safe. Stay safe, precious child.
Another thing is that Namie, being a female mount, has lower constitution than a male mount, so she can't even do rescuing as well as other people can.
Yeah.
But wait, don't you? If you have more constitution, though, in some cases, you have less aid, or is that only with flyers?
I think that might be only with flyers. I don't remember either.
Actually, no. I think the more constitution you have, the less aid you have. I want to say.
The male paladins, for example, have no issues rescuing people still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that if you give Ford a promoted Ford a body ring, then he can't rescue Berserker Ross. I know that much. But if he doesn't have a body ring, then he can rescue Berserker Ross.
Berserker Ross also has 13 constitution, so that might not be the best example to use for this.
I know, I'm just saying, I just know that if you have more constitution, you also have less aid.
Yeah. So who's next?
Let's talk about the other archer.
Okay.
I put him in serviceable.
I put him in
the reason he's serviceable. Can I
Eirika.
explain why he's serviceable?
Yes.
Okay, he's got amazing.
Below Eirika.
The main reason he's serviceable is because he's got great stats, but he's in one of the worst classes to have those great stats in Sniper.
Yeah.
He's
I will put him.
He's if he's top of serviceable or bottom of worthwhile. If we really want to put him in worthwhile.
Oh, I will put him below Eirika, actually.
Yeah, I put him just.
Eirika?
Actually, no, he's top of serviceable.
No. I will put him below Eirika because again, join time is the thing.
Join time, but he's already got such amazing stats and everything that
he's not as useful for as much time as other people on this list are.
Okay, and also his class. You're right.
Yeah.
The class really matters.
Yeah,
I will say,
Eirika and Renais aren't super good, but they're not ungodly terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I might be biased with Innis because I've been playing with the skills patch and they gave Innis Gale Force.
Yeah, okay, that would make him
Then put him here.
Force would make anyone good.
Then put him here.
Okay, yeah.
But
Force
no.
will make anyone good. The thing is that in a remake, if they were to remake Sacred Stones in 15 years or so, they would probably give him close counter. They'd probably make him Takumi 2.0.
That's a long shot.
Innis with close counter would put him here.
Oh yeah, for sure. But here's the thing. For the time being, he's just serviceable because he because he's got amazing base stats. He joins a bit late, yes, but here's the thing: when you've got amazing base stats, your join time doesn't mean shit.
Yes, it does, because you're not as useful for as long as for as much as the game is to people who join with worse base stats.
I will say, he has A rank and bows, and so he can use Needhog really early. And like, if you want someone to use Needhog and you haven't trained Niemi, then Innis is your only option.
Yes,
here's the thing, Neidhogg isn't like really that good.
I mean, it's worse than Regalia because it's a bow. But yeah.
I would liken it to FE8's UFEL.
FE8? You mean FE4?
You mean FE4?
No, I'm calling Nidhogg the UFEL of FE8.
Oh, okay,
yeah. That's fair.
Good lord, guys.
Jeez. But yeah, serviceable is where I'm gonna stick with that. He is serviceable.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is one of my 2 hot takes on who's serviceable. You guys know who the next one I'm talking about is, but we don't have to get to him just yet.
Now, let's get to him right now.
Who is that? Who is that, Rick?
Noel.
No, I cannot.
No, fuck you.
No. Okay, listen to me.
Fuck you.
Listen to
Fuck
me.
you. Up here, top tier, better than Seth. Fuck you, Rick.
Okay, big serious for a moment. Not F tier, not by a long shot, but I would definitely put him in worthwhile.
Honestly,
Worthwhile? I put him up here.
No, the reason why he's serviceable in my opinion is because yes, he can be a great summoner instantly, but here's the thing, his stats, like the biggest problem he has is 0 luck with a low luck growth in a game where enemies don't have luck, but they actually have skill. So they all have a crit rate against him that most likely will proc.
Okay, but here's the thing, he can attack from 2 range.
He can attack from 2 range, but he's squishy as shit. Oh wait, no.
And most of the time, if you promote him to summoner, he's just gonna be summoning things anyways, and that'll just be meat fodder. That'll just be fodder, and that'll probably save another unit.
And he doesn't. I'm just gonna say this: he doesn't even have the best summons in the game.
That doesn't matter.
Summons, because like those summons don't get enough credit because like they can be fodder as sword set, but they also, funnily enough, have like a flight effect where like they can actually traverse most types of terrain without like being impeded at all.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's only 5 movement, but still, like they can walk up mountains without an issue.
Also, the phantom stats don't really matter at all.
They don't.
They're just cannon fodder.
Though. Like the weapon, because like here's the thing, Ewan's like, because I hate to compare because we haven't brought Ewan up yet, but if Noel's in worthwhile, then Ewan's above him in worthwhile.
No, because Noel can do that without any investment whatsoever.
Yeah.
But like when Ewan's the better summoner of the 2. I'm just saying.
Doesn't matter. You can still summon. Both still summon.
Yeah, and I just want to say this: when it comes to summoners, they're not gonna want to really see a lot of combat anyways.
No, they're
just gonna be
like
healing and summoning, and that's it. And
yeah.
So it's like you don't need, and so it's like when it comes to combat, if they're gonna see combat, it's not gonna be on the front lines.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like even Ewan is not gonna be wanting to see combat on the front lines.
Oh, yeah, no, God, no.
No, okay, yeah, you know what? I can see that, but the 0 luck thing and him, like, yeah, he's not gonna intend to see combat, but when he does, it's usually screwy, and again, he does, like, I know that the phantoms are meant to be just fodder, but sometimes you can have a really, like, again, Ewan's phantoms usually are better, because they do have, like, yes, they all have 1 HP, but don't Ewans come with, like, better weapons and whatnot to be used? They all
come with the same weapons, I think.
Yeah. It's just the stats that will be slightly varied.
The thing about the summons weapons is that they actually kind of upgrade as they, like, get up there in levels.
Yes. But it's, like, a percentage chance of, that. And also, the only thing that will be different about their summons is that the phantoms will just be slightly different because they all have slightly different growths.
And they all have very slightly different stat spreads, but like it doesn't matter. They're going to die in 1 hit anyway.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, then okay, I'll concede he'll stay in worthwhile, but I don't think it belongs anywhere above worthwhile.
Top of worthwhile.
I think I would actually put him like maybe below Garcia myself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah, true.
Ross's and Garcia's contributions tend to have more contributions than Null typically does.
Yeah.
True.
Hmm.
Alright, another controversial unit that we will talk about. Mulder and then Archer. Let's start with Mulder.
I say he's an S.
No, I would put him. I would actually. No, okay. Here's the thing. Staff utility is very, very good, especially with the warp staff. I just don't think it's S tier worthy.
It kind of is because of his good growth, his good bases. Because here's the thing, Because here's the thing that he has over most other healers and even other FE games. He's both a good healer and a good fighter. Which is not something you can really say about a lot of other healers.
Okay, but here's the thing, like being forced to rely solely on stabs for to gain levels, it's gonna go slow as hell, and by the time he promotes, he only has an E rank in light magic.
He has a D rank.
D rank.
Okay, well still that's not really super beneficial unless you're fighting monsters, but you're not really fighting monsters until you're the last fourth of the game.
You fight
not in bulk at the very least.
Okay.
But if we're gonna be saying on better healer, someone who can fight and heal very well, then Arthur would be a lot better then.
Oh yeah. I think Arthur is actually one of the game's best units. I think I would actually put him above Garrick, to be honest, because yes, he is very squishy, but 1-2 range, and also his magic is very good, and also he can level up and promote much faster than Mulder can, and also you get a guiding ring at the very end of chapter 5 if you're not if you save all the villages or something, I think it is. And when he promotes, here's the thing, when he promotes,
I'd put him right there if we're really gonna put him in must use.
Here's the thing, where when he promotes, he gets an automatic C rank at stabs. So at that point, he can spam stabs much easier than spam stabs at the exact because Mulder also joins a C rank stabs, but Arthur also has other means of gaining levels and getting a higher magic stat, which means better healing and also better warp staff range.
Yeah.
Although if we want to talk about warp staff range, then Archer is better as a sage for the warp staff.
No.
True.
Because Arthur joins with C-rank stats as a bishop.
No, I'm just talking about Matt for magic range. Then he's better as a sage for warp range.
Right, but there comes a point where you don't there comes a point where you really kind of stop needing enough so much magic because you'll have a high enough warp range to really go anywhere on the map that you really want to, and because of that, bishop would be better because of he can get it to warp faster.
Okay, but just warp aside though, Archer probably is better. Just because he can attack, and so it's easier to get him up on levels, and then once he hits level 10, you can promote him, or you can wait a little bit if you want to.
And you can also promote him very, very early, because like I said, chapter 5, big.
Yeah, but, so yeah, Archer probably better, and, yeah.
I still think I still think that Archer, because I'm still, top of worthwhile, but if we're gonna stick with must-use, I'll stick with must-use.
Alright.
Yeah.
I will say...
Both Arthur and Mulder are very, very good. It just so happens that, Arthur can, start doing stuff a little bit earlier than Mulder can, as well.
I think, another thing with Arthur, though, is he's more, right here, just because as a combat unit, he's better than Mulder, yes. He's still not the best. He's super speedy. But his magic growth is average.
Yeah. It's the main. I think the main draw of magic is 1-2, really still good 1-2 range.
Oh yeah,
and also
definitely.
And also it hits on the lower of the two enemies' defensive stats.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. But yeah, I think I'll stay on must use because you guys are making pretty good points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually, can I begin it now?
Yes.
I want to talk about Joshua, and because it's probably going to be my hot take for this list, I want to put him in must use. Maybe not as high, maybe below Mulder, I would say.
Okay.
Because here's the thing about Joshua, his his contributions are by no means on par with someone like Seth early game, but he's still better at combat early game than like a lot of other units because he's just so damn fast, and he also joins with like a C rank and swords, meaning he can use a lot of really good swords at base. And then when he promotes, like promoted to Swordmaster for the love of God, but also like when he promotes to Swordmaster, he'll have combined with like a killing edge crit rate with the Swordmaster's innate crit rate combined with just this really good skill. He'll have like a pretty consistent like almost 50-ish crit rate on most of the enemies in the game, and also like at base, like assuming he doesn't gain a single point of strength when he promotes, and if you give him a killing edge, he'll have around like I think it's like 18 or 19 attack, which doesn't sound like much, but like keep in mind that he's going to be doubling a lot of enemies in like the mid to even late game, and also he's going to have a very good chance of critting them. So he can still he's a very good combo.
Yeah, he's basically like, I know we shouldn't compare units from other games, but basically he's Rutger, just light.
Joshua's kind of sort of like a mini Rutger as well.
But he's the Rutger of this game, so good boss killer.
Can I just say, I think he belongs right below GreatRieck, personally.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Because here's the thing. Okay, I would go that far because...
I wouldn't go that far either, honestly.
Yeah.
But hear me out. Like, he's got the best stats that you... Like, he's got some of the best stats that any unit needs. Skill and speed. And he comes with a class that utilizes those stats well. So,
yeah, I would say high strength is like more important than either of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which like Joshua's strength is still very good, but like it's not.
Here's the thing: his strength is good. It's pretty serviceable throughout, and the minute you can promote him, he's gonna be one of the best units because Swordmasters with high crit and all that, and most enemies defensive stats in Sacred Stones, enemies wise, aren't the best unless you're a boss or a Cyclops. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But, so, he will just eat, like, he's more likely to crit than not crit, to be fair here.
Yeah, because even if the crit bonuses in FEA from Swordmaster aren't as high as in FE6, like he still has a very high, he still has a pretty good, like, almost coin flip chance of critting most enemies.
I will say that, like, when dealing with hordes of enemies, though, he's not the best.
I disagree, because
another thing is once again lack of 1-2 range.
Yeah.
1-2 range, yes, but here's the thing: even if an enemy's to throw a javelin at him, they most of the time have like a 20% chance to hit him, which is in 2RN ain't crap.
Still, if it hits, it hits.
Yeah. If it hits, but
and Joshua's bulk is like decent enough to take 1 or 2 hits, but like it's not amazing.
Yeah, the only way he's gonna be dodging javelin hits is if he's equipped with a Lancer Reaver. Like, dodging reliably.
No. You can give him like a really light sword and also put him in a forest, and like he'll have very good like
avoid. You can give him a silver sword and still have good avoid.
Yeah, well, I mean, silver sword is kind of sort of light.
Yeah, again, I would actually put him, like, if we're not gonna put him next to GreatRieck, at least put him next to Ephraim.
I would say put him above Tana but below Ardor.
Yeah.
Okay. This hurts me, but okay.
It kind of hurts me too, Rieck, because I'm biased towards Joshua, but at the same time, it's like I see more merit in using Archer over Joshua.
You know what? Let's give him half a petty point for his really awesome hat and put him above Ardor.
Okay, fine.
There's a unit that I might be contested for S rank, but I think belongs in either S rank or at the top of must use.
Give it to us. Which one?
Dusel. Because here's the thing: he joins with amazing stats. Yes, he joins as a great knight, which doesn't have the best movement, but he's bold.
I put him there.
All right, fair.
I would put him below France, to be honest.
No.
His stats are really, really good, but the issue is join time.
True.
He still joins in the early half of the game. He joins in chapter 9.
Barely. He joins on the brink of fucking...
That depends on the route. That depends on the route, though. If you're in Ephraim's route, he joins earlier. If you're in Eirika's route, he joins chapter 15. Even in chapter 15, though, he's still good.
Yeah, like, even if he does join in like the early half of the game, just barely, he's still like on the verge of like the exact halfway points. So like at that point, yeah. Dussel's still very, very good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, like I almost want to argue and say that he might actually be slightly better in Eirika's route.
Yeah, because they boost him up a bit because he joined so much later.
Okay, but they
well,
also
not
boost
just
him
that,
more,
but
yeah, so, like,
but more of just like in his starting position, you just throw him at all those enemies and he can destroy a lot of the enemies near Valter pretty easily. Just
and
alone.
He's one of the best units in a 0% growth run.
Yeah, but so is so like never mind. I was gonna say so is Seth, but like that's a very moot point. Never mind.
Yeah, like here's the thing: him and Seth are like two of the best in 0% growth runs, from what I understand.
But in a more casual playthrough, people will probably like Dussel won't be as amazing as these three, or even GreatRieck or Franz, but he might be more. The thing like that maybe puts him above Ephraim, at least for me, is that he does not cause a game over.
Okay, fair.
So you can throw him in a bunch of enemies, and it's like, oh, if he dies, he dies. But if you do that with Ephraim, you lose.
Alright.
But with Franz joins earlier, so Franz has more use time. GreatRieck usually tends to join earlier, but like auto promote, and so just he can outspeed and double and juggernaut things or whatever. And then Dussel, he can reliably double most of the time, but like once you get to chapter 16, I believe, I think that's where he might start having problems, whereas GreatRieck won't.
Alright.
But
next?
Even then, just like with the control of the weapon triangle and whatnot, Dussel is good.
Yeah.
Alright, who's next?
Who's next?
Do we want to talk about the Christmas cows now?
Let's talk about Gilliam first, because like he's been kind of like nagging at me. Yeah.
He's serviceable.
Yeah, I would put him above, probably above. Like I would definitely put him above Renais, and maybe even above Inez, to be honest. Because like he's not amazing, but he's not ungodly terrible.
And he can become a Great Knight.
Yes.
Great Knight really helps him.
I think like if you made him a Great Knight, just like potential wise, he could potentially turn out better than Dussel and just be a better Dussel. But because of
that's going to take an ungodly amount of effort.
That'll take a lot of effort. So, but for early game, he's good at tanking hits. He's actually, like, despite having weapon triangle disadvantage, he can take some axe hits pretty well.
That's because he's a knight, and knights have insane defense, even with axe units. He has, like, 12, doesn't he?
I forget the exact numbers. His defense and especially HP are very good, though. I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm looking at his base stats. He joins with 25 HP and 9 defense.
Okay, 9 defense. Yeah. That's still pretty good, though. And then he also has access to the best weapon type in the game, so.
Yeah.
And, like, if you want to use a general, he's better at it than Amelia, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah,
But at the same time, in this game, like, generals are completely outclassed by Great Knights, just because, like, Great Knights do everything that generals do with an extra one of movements and with Kato.
Yeah. You know, I think Great Knights, like, I think they would be a lot better if they just had, like, the same movement as, like, you know, Mage Knights, Valkyries, etc. They'd just be a lot better if they just had, like, that extra point of move.
Yeah. The extra point move that they do, and that they have an Awakening and, like...
Yeah. But no, Great Knights... Great Knights are so, like... Great Knights are still, like a very, like, somewhat good class, but they have
it's
the
a
same
very solid class.
Yeah, but they have the same movement as infantry, so, promoted infantry, I should say, so that holds them back a bit. But, I think, like, a merit for Great Knights, though, is they, also have control over the weapon triangle.
Yeah. I mean, actually, generals also use swords in... Oh, wait, they don't use axes in
No, they do. They use all three in Sacred Stones, but Great Knights are better because more movement.
Yeah, and Great Knights also get D axes upon promotion instead of E axes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they have like E swords or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I guess like maybe speaking. So yeah, Gilliam.
He's alright.
He's alright. If you want to use him, then like there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, use who you want, even if it's like I guess as like a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Use whoever you want.
Exactly.
Just some units will be harder to train than others, like these three.
Don't take our opinions too seriously. There's a reason we're on milk cartons.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of other potential Great Knights,
I'd actually put Kyle and must use.
I would put them both at the top of worthwhile.
They're both about the same. Like
I would put Kyle above Ford, to be honest.
Yeah,
Kyle has like some pretty again like the whole thing about Ephraim is that like Ephraim, Kyle, and Ford all join in a map where that's just filled to the brim with like EXP that you can very easily have like you can pretty easily have Ford like at level 10 by the end of the map, and you can somewhat easily do the same with Kyle, and Kyle has like much better stats than Ford does, but at the same time Ford actually does like start one level or join at one level above Kyle, which makes it like if you just want like another 8 movement paladin and that don't really care about like how good their combat is, Ford would be more ideal. But if you want someone who can actually, if you want another like actually good fighter, then Kyle is better.
Yeah, both of them are good. I see a lot of people shit on Ford, and it just pains me so much. Yeah, blame Mecha because Ford is good.
He's the worst paladin, but he's still pretty solid.
He's still worst paladin. Actually, no, Amelia's worst paladin.
Okay, well we don't
second worst paladin, but he still does good. And I think like in some cases, depending on how well Franz turns out, these two can actually turn out better than him. That's just me though.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say this because both of them have like. I feel like both Franz and Ford have like one specific branch that they're better at of the two, while Kyle is good no matter which branch you choose.
I mean, you want to turn them all into paladins,
right?
Let's not kid ourselves.
Actually, no. Kyle does really good as a Great Knight. I know that's less.
But still, he does just as well as a paladin, and a paladin has higher movements.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. But what I'm saying is that like, while they are I feel Kyle's the most versatile of the three.
I've seen like some people say, or actually no, you know what? Just screw it. Mecha, he said that that Ford is so bad that he should just go into Great Knight because Great Knight is also bad, and it's like no, because if you do that, that just squanders his potential worse in some cases.
I just had a thought. How funny would it be if like Mecha somehow stumbled upon like this tier list and actually decided to do like a review of it?
I tell him, okay, Mecha, now you know I exist. I'm inviting you on the Shadow Dragon.
Yeah.
This is my official offer. This is my official offer. Message me on Discord. I'm part of your Discord.
You know what? Let's just like once we're done with this, let's just bug him and be like,
let's not seem like an ass.
No, that
it would be funny, but let's not.
Yeah. But
he's got enough to do as it is.
True.
But yeah, I think Worthwhile is perfect for both of them because
Kyle's slightly better, mostly just because of strength. But I think Ford sometimes has easier doubling things than Kyle. But overall, they're both still good. So put them into paladins, but I think they can also work well as Great Knights. But they're better off being as paladins just because of the better movement.
Right now, it's good access, but it doesn't really matter when javelins are still good 1-2 range options.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I just say one of the most easily contested, two of the most easy S's I feel.
Oh dear God.
Oh, okay.
Tethys and Saleh.
I wouldn't put Sally up there. I'd maybe put Tepes up there.
I would put. No, because Pen joins with A stabs, which he can use a bunch of the good stabs by default. Stella only has like
C
stabs. Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you're using Pen for stabs, you're kidding yourself. No offense, you're kidding yourself because by that point, yes. Because here's the thing: people look at him more as a power. More for his power more than his healing potential.
Oh, he can definitely kill things pretty easily. But here's the things: like when we compare Sally to like a lot of people must use an S, then he's not really any better at killing stuff than a lot of other people there.
Okay, let me just put this. He is the best anima magic user in the game. He has that going for him, and even with his C stabs, he can still use stuff like barrier and restore.
Yes, exactly. You see, he can still use all of the necessary stabs.
Well, except for Physic.
But Physic at the same time.
And also he can't use Rescue or Warp.
Fair, but still, he is Pent 2.0 just with lower staff rank.
He's a mini Pent. Maybe
actually, no.
I would say
I was gonna say put him above Ardor.
No, maybe not put him above France.
No, fuck that. No.
Actually, yes.
No,
actually, yes.
No, test that.
What the fuck, guys?
Thank you.
I will put. What the hell?
Sorry, Del. You can be incorrect as much as you want.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Here.
Okay. I'll concede to this. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So easy 1-2 range with magic.
Really good offensive stats. I do wish the staff rank was higher though.
And he has staff rank at least. Like he has, like of all the sages that you could use in the game, he'll be the best just because of the staff rank alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
next is Brig also brought up Tethys, which I would not say is S rank.
No,
I would
dancers
say
by default are an S rank because
are they
though?
No,
are they
they're fucking not. No, they're
yes,
not.
they are. Okay,
no, they're not.
Del, shut up for 5 seconds. Let me explain. Okay, the great thing about dancers is they come with most of the time come with slightly higher movement than most of your units and can pretty easily reach.
Move your cursor off the thing.
Move your cursor off.
Sorry.
But they can. And here's the thing: having a refresher unit is always top because they make your other units able to move again and get stuff done quicker. You see.
That's not S tier worthy though. That's
yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's very, very. I would put her pretty high on must use, but I would not put her in S for God's sake.
Put her above Garrick. I will not.
No. But I will even contest putting her above France for this. Just not above fucking Garrick. Good lord.
This is hurting me because 2 people that are an S don't deserve to be an S.
Okay, let me just do this. Boom. Happy?
No.
I'm slightly happier, but
no.
I'm just being.
No.
Oh God.
No.
We're hurting
here.
No. Thank you. Okay. You know what? I'll accept that.
Okay.
Still, Dancer is good. There are just some games where Dancer might not be the best thing in the world.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Okay, but not every
really
GBA
useful.
dancer is Ninian. Not every GBA dancer is Ninian.
That's right. The other 2 dancers are actually good.
The other 2 dancers are actually.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna
go to whatever hellhole you live in, Del, and I'm gonna beat the ever-loving fuck out of you.
Oh my gosh. Why am I friends with you 2 again?
I've been trying to figure out this thing. I've been trying to figure that out for years now. We haven't even known each other for years, but I'm still trying to figure that out.
I feel like the reason why I'm friends with you guys is just to mediate your duels to the death.
I mean, in the third chapter, you're basically just like the very overworked single mom.
Gosh. Okay.
Okay.
But Tethys, she's good. But it's not enough to put her in like top tier, just because there are times where whenever I play Sacred Stones, I'll sometimes actually want to put like a really solid unit over Tethys in like the field.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
But I might just be overly dancer biased too.
Maybe. I mean, there are some games where like dancers are good, but then there are games like Awakening where it's like, yeah, having a dancer is nice, but at the same time it's like, you really need Olivia?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the worst, I'm just gonna say that nothing, like, there's only like 2 games where dancers aren't good. And that's Awakening and Three Houses.
Fair. So let's go talk about Ewan, and let me make my argument for why he being serviceable.
Worthwhile.
Oh,
bottom of worthwhile for me.
Serviceable.
Actually, no.
Because here's the thing, Ewan does still need a god. Because here's the thing, Ewan does still need a god awful amount of like effort to really make him work. But he does still have a niche that like someone like Amelia, for example, doesn't have. Where like I said, he can become a summoner like Noel can, not nearly as easily as Noel can, but he can still become one. But he can also go Mage Knight, which like for like the purposes of Sacred Stones might very well be one of the game's best classes for having like permanent 1/2 range and also mounted.
And staves. I think like one thing with Ewan is that if you want to use him, he's better being trained in Eirika's route, because the chapter that he joins in, there's the boss, and then there's like also an entombed that don't move, and so he can just kill those 2 and get to level 10 automatically.
I'm also gonna say this, even in Ephraim's route, the chapter he joins in is full of monsters that don't have the greatest resistance.
Yeah, but that's
so,
like,
yeah, but they.
Chapter 15, is it not?
No, it's chapter. That's chapter 11.
It's like chapter 4. No. That's like chapter 12 at least.
Yeah, that's chapter 12.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
chapter
still,
11's the ghost ship.
Because that's I was gonna say because that's after. No, I think the ghost ship is chapter 13, isn't it?
No. The ghost ship's chapter 11.
Yeah, and then they arrive into port, and that's chapter 12, and that's where you get Ewan and Marissa.
He's recruited in chapter 12 of both routes.
Yeah,
right.
I think he's better off being trained in Eirika's route though, just because there are 2 monster enemies that don't move instead of the Cyclops in chapter 12, where it's like but the thing with that is with the Cyclops as a tomahawk, and so if Ewan gets hit, he's dead. Also,
Ewan's not. Oh, good lord.
What?
Okay, but also Ewan's not touching that Cyclops either way because he's so damn bulky.
True, but he's easier to train in Eirika's route because he can do damage to the entombed, and then like you give him his energy ring, and then he can do damage to the boss with thunder magic, and and with the one boss in that chapter, you can just like he can attack at 2 range, Kanto away, or like rescue Kanto, and then
I'll concede that he's top of serviceable.
Because he can turn into 2 of the best classes, like 2 of like maybe
2 really good classes. Let's just say that
2 really good classes, being Mage Knight and Summoner. Both of and even if you put him in Druid and Sage, he can still perform well.
Here's the thing: Sage is just Mage Knight without the extra movement, and Druid is Sword Summoner without the extra utility.
Yeah, but access to anima magic.
I suppose.
Yeah, but Mage Knight and Summoner are 2 of Ewan's best classes. Speaking of mages, what are we gonna do with loot? What are we gonna do with loot?
I would put her in serviceable.
I'd put her right below Ewan in serviceable.
I would put her above Ewan, actually.
She would be above Ewan, yeah.
Okay, fair. They're both kind of equal in my eyes.
Because here's the thing: Ewan joins later, and he also requires a fuck ton more work than
loot.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, but yeah, at least we're not agreeing that she's like a lot of people will say, "Oh, she's a great unit."
No.
She's okay.
No. Yeah, she's fine, but she's not amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, 1-2 range for magical chip damage is nice, but she's frail, and another thing is that, like, she doesn't always... You could say that she's like Fran, she has, like, average stats and, like, average growth, and so, like, she could go either way of being super good or super bleh.
Something else I noticed about Lute is that I feel like her accuracy is, like, very, like, no pun intended, but pretty hit or miss.
Yeah,
Shaky.
yeah.
She's very shaky.
Yeah. Also, also, the tomes aren't as good in this game as the, say, FE6.
Yeah.
Mostly just because of the constitution.
Yeah.
For one.
True.
But having access to magic and then promoting into Mage Knight was like her best choice. But even if you do promote her to Sage, she can still be like a magical juggernaut like Sala. Just it takes more. But like the thing between her and Sala is that Sala, no investment. Lute, you need investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also no investments.
Yeah, no investment, obviously.
Yeah, but if you're prepared to deal with high chance of crit,
prepared to not even have to throw him in the combat because he can just use the fucking summons for stuff.
True.
That's all
the Phantom can protect him.
Phantoms can protect him. Okay, true.
I definitely think said victims can protect
Phantoms.
him.
No. The Phantoms are the fallen victims of Grado.
That'd actually be perfect.
I don't like how much how accurate that is.
Yes, that's like hurtfully accurate.
Let's talk about Dozla.
Dozla, I'd say
I would put him at the top of worthwhile, actually. I think.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say he's top of worthwhile because he joins as a berserker with an amazing weapon. He's got good stats.
Yeah.
I feel like even without the weapon, he's still good.
Well, I'm saying even without the weapon, but I'm saying his stat. That's why I brought up the stats. His stats are so good.
Yeah, he has truckloads of HP and like his strength is really good. His speed is a little bit like he's kind of sort of like a slightly better version of Hawkeye. I think is the best way to put it.
I want to say another thing is with him is if Berserker Ross isn't turning out super well, like at least in the speed department, then Dozla would be better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this right now. Dozla's speed is not going to be any better than Ross's, but he's still very, very usable.
Yes.
But Dozla also has higher con.
I'd actually put Dozla here because you got these two.
That's fair. I mean, there's 2 units that are that I think belong in worthwhile that are kind of on par, even though they're different weapon types. But I'll get to them when we get to them.
Okay. So Dozla here. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Fair.
Alright, Serene. I am going to defend her.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I would say that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Her actual combat stats are dreadful, but she still has the high movement and also the flight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one thing I do like about her is like not that it really matters, but her weapon ranks are also pretty decent. Like she has A in lances and C in swords. So you could just give her a killing edge and a killer lance, and she can go ham on things.
That's true.
And yeah, I like. I will say this: she's definitely like, if for some reason you were me and didn't use Vanessa and Tana in your first playthrough, then Serene is perfectly serviceable.
Okay, but that also applies if you don't use Cormag.
No, I use Cormag. Okay,
even if you don't realize how good Cormag is, I feel like most people use him just because he's like his presence in the story. It makes him really cool.
Yeah, but or she is serviceable. She's the
worst of the flyers, but she's still decent.
Yeah, and I think she just gets overhated a lot. And no, she's probably better than a lot of people say she is.
Yeah. She's she's good, but she's not a top tier unit. You see, the thing about a lot of Fire Emblem fans when it comes to like tier lists and crap is they think if you're not in the top tier, you're not worth using. Like top 2 tiers. It's like people don't realize that you can have just plain okay units that are usable.
Yeah, and that's why I listed the units as in such as like S is for Seth because they're the top. It's S tier. They're good. But then there's
so good. I would actually recommend. I would actually recommend not using them because they break the what little balances are already there.
But like there's must use. That's why I decided like for this tier list to have them be like instead of letters, just have them be different tiers. Just
because even if like people like Kyle and Ford aren't in like mid tier, they're still worth using.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like all of these units here are worth using for sure.
Yeah.
The ones at the bottom take a fair bit of effort, but they're like you can use them, but they're nowhere near them.
And then these 3 are just like.
Yeah, just don't bother.
Yeah, I think like of the 3 of them, Naomi's like the most worth using.
Yeah. So I'll just go and get the last 2 like stat bots out of the way, just because I want to go and like rip this band-aid off.
Worthwhile, like right.
Yeah, I would say.
Ford. These are the 2 I said are tied with Kyle and Ford for top of worthwhile.
Okay, Natasha. I would definitely put in worthwhile, and I would put Larshell there too, but I would not put her anywhere near Natasha.
Where would
put her
put
below.
Yeah, I put her at the bottom just because she starts at level 3, and so she's a pain in the ass to train.
And she joins almost halfway through the game at level 3 and can only gain EXP through stabs. And she doesn't even join at C rank, so she can't even like spam Torch on the map that she joins.
No, she can.
Oh, she can't?
Yes, she can. Torch is like D rank.
Yeah, Torch is D.
Or okay, but then she also doesn't join with 1.
Yeah, but the thing with Larshell though is if I'm just saying hypothetically, if she joined at say level 10, you could just auto promote her. And then she'd automatically be more like right here.
Yeah, here's the thing: like, if you did a lot of things wrong with Larshell, she would be better. If she joined at level 10, then like she would be better. If she joined with 1 more point of movement, she would be better. If she joined with a better staff rank, she would be better. Like, she's like there's so many things involved in Larshell where it's like you change just one little thing about her, and she would instantly be so much better.
Oh yeah. But Larshell though is still good. Like she's worth using. I mean, heck, if like Mulder and Natasha dies, then yeah, you're gonna want Larshell.
Larshell is still best FE8 girl, but she's not amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I will contest this hardcore. Myrrh is like I keep saying this, but she is like at the top of worthwhile. Yeah. Because she's got dragon utility. She joins late, yes, but she joins with a dragon stone that gives her good old stat boost, insane ones.
I will actually agree with you on this because while she does join like very late, she still has like not only does she gain a lot of like a lot of stats from the dragon stone, but also I think the dragon stone also does effective damage to monsters. So she'd like.
Can I just make this argument? She's very frail when you get her, and so if you're trying to train her, it can sometimes be difficult. So.
I mean, she can still do she can still take a good 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah, but she has 15 HP.
She has 15 HP, but
yeah, but
a lot of defense.
A lot of defense. I'm looking at the stats of the.
It's a bit like Kellum in Awakening, where it's like he doesn't have the best HP, but he does have very, very high.
Yeah, because here's what the Dragonstone gives. It gives plus 12 strength, plus 12 skill, plus 15 defense, and plus 20 resistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's not that squishy.
So what is that like 17 defense at base?
Let me look at her defense. She
is
has
movement considered infantry. So 5 movement.
She's got 6 movement. She's got 6.
Okay.
Yeah, she has 6 movement. And also, I think the Dragonstone does effective damage to monsters. So she can,
which is triple damage.
Weak, so she can still very easily waste a bunch of enemies when she joins. Granted, she's only around for like 2 or 3 chapters.
She's down. She joins chapter 16.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, chapter 16.
thought it was chapter 19.
No.
Nope, she joins chapter 16, which is the Orson chapter.
Sure?
So she has. Yes,
Are you
I'm
sure?
sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, she
Reek is
joins
right.
the Orson.
Because I do not remember her joining. I remember her joining in like the Fog of War map. That's like with Rhea as the boss.
No.
Chapter 19.
I think that's when you. That's probably when you first started using her.
Maybe, I don't know.
The
Because
last
here's the
unit
thing-
to join is Serene, and that's on the river map.
Which is right after.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, but yeah. So Myrrh, I'd put her. I still think she's above. Like yeah, right there. Personally, if not,
I'd
put her right
here.
right next to.
That works.
Okay, that's fair. I'll concede.
Yeah, just
We're also not ranking Orson because he's around for like one chapter and he leaves after that.
here. We'll just put him here.
He's
As a character, he's painful.
I was gonna say yeah. Like,
I mean, he's provided.
if we were judging this as a character, he would be S tier. But whatever.
He provides me and
No.
Steven from FEM as paint a whole bunch of necrophilia jokes. So that's
Oh
pretty
god.
something.
Oh god.
And that's really what I'm gonna end this list on.
Okay, so here's S's for Seth, which pains Dell so much.
I just don't. I really just don't think that like Garrick is still really fucking good, but I just don't think he's S tier really.
I'd say he is because
Yeah.
again, I've given my good old explanation.
Because here's the thing: his contributions aren't as he doesn't contribute as much as like someone like Seth or Vanessa.
I disagree because he does. He truly does.
Okay, well, those watching, let this just be a lesson that at the end of the day, it all boils down to personal preference. Use whoever the hell you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
So,
we're
you
three-
could train Amelia from 0 to hero, but she's still gonna be shit. And then you got Seth, who you don't have to train at all, and he still breaks the game.
Yeah. Honestly,
And then you have Noel, who just pisses Reek off.
Yeah.
Noel pisses me off because yes, he's got summoner utility, but his stats and his 0 luck offend me.
So why do
would
you
you
value Tether so much?
Yeah.
Because she's a dancer. Stats don't matter for a fucking dancer.
The thing with both of them is that they shouldn't be
in.
in. The thing with both of them is that they shouldn't even be in line of combat to begin with.
Exactly.
But you see, the thing is, with Tethys, you're
You know-
definitely not supposed to do that. But with Noel, he has dark magic, so he can at least defend himself. But if he defends himself, he's pretty shitty at defending himself.
Okay,
Well, he
you
can
know
still
what?
defend himself, which is something
Okay,
Tethys
let's-
cannot do.
Let's just say this. Reek is bad at Sacred Stones. Reek is bad at Fire Emblem, so he doesn't.
Reek lost.
So
Reek.
so even if he promoted Noel to Summoner, the Noel would die before the Phantom would.
Yeah. Reek lost one of the easiest games in the series on chapter fucking 13.
Okay, this game is not the easiest game in the series.
No,
I
that's
said
what
one
he
of.
says.
I said one of.
And
One
chapter
of,
13 is
okay.
a pain in the ass anyway, even without adding skills or anything.
Even so,
Yeah.
suck.
Fuck you. Yeah.
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 Yep. So I think that's it. Do you think
Yeah.
it turned out well? I think I can stand
think
by
it turned
where
out
a
alright,
lot
yeah.
of these are.
I
think
can
it turned
stand
out
by
alright, yeah.
most of these.
And Dell?
I can live with this.
Okay. Dell is internally suffering like usual.
I'm internally suffering like usual.
You know.
And I'm
you know
just here.
You know, whenever Swords eventually gets a big enough channel to become monetized, she'll be making money off of my pain, so I won't budge. I won't budge too much.
She already can. She's got like 4.5k subs.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, but still, I'm not monetizing.
Yeah. Honestly, if you ever monetize, just go straight to Patreon.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it'll work out better for you. Because YouTube
Yeah.
YouTube cannot stand the idea of like people actually making a living.
Yeah.
God. You know
Yeah,
what?
let's not go on this. Let's not go on this rant right
Alright, well, we're just gonna end off that, end this off here, and, here. No.
Okay.
For necrophilia.
Okay.
Necrophilia joke.
No.
Make it tier above. Make it tier above.
I don't know.
Necrophilia tier.
Yeah.
How do you spell necrophilia?
P-I
P-H-I-L-I-A.
Yes. Yes.
And then we'll just make it black there.
Can you save this so I can share this with Steven?
Wait, no, hang on. I would also suggest. Okay, so hang on, go to change characters real fast.
Wait.
Over to the left. Go to change characters. Select Sacred Stones Extra. Sacred Stones Extra. Then select Selena, and also put her up there too.
You know what? Put Reeve here too, because he's
why
the
the hell
one who
not?
brought Monica back to life.
You know what? Can you send me a screenshot of this later? I'm gonna send this to my friend.
You know what? What the fuck? Put you here, you creepy bastard.
Oh god. Time for necrophilia.
Oh, good lord.
Alright, and with that, we're gonna end it off. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Next time, we will see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And subscribe to GreatRieck. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.